Aejas Chowdhury, a 62-year-old father of four, should have been celebrating Father's Day with his family, but he was shot by Peel Region police officer during a mental health check in Mississauga. His family members said that he was a schizophrenic and suffered from other illnesses.
You're talking about a 62-year-old man who can't even take 5 to 6 steps without having to sit down because he can't breathe.
The officers were called to an apartment to check the well-being of the individual. The initial call reported that the man was suffering from a medical condition and he was not taking his medication. He had barricaded himself inside his residence. Uniform and tactical officers, as well as officers with the Forces K9 unit, responded to the incident and communicated with him.
He would have came out harmless, he wouldn't have hurt anyone, right? But at the same time, we would still have an uncle.
You say he's a danger to himself? What did you guys do? What's more dangerous than killing him?
Everything you know is in your mind.
They were in constant communication with him just before 8 p.m., but after that they were unable to contact him. They believed that he might have access to weapons, and he was danger to himself. Due to the extensive medical history and lack of communication for 15 minutes, the officers decided to enter the residence to check his soundness. Upon entering the apartment, the police used energy weapons and fired plastic projectiles from an anti-riot weapon at the man. When there was no effect, an officer discharged the firearm. The man was struck, and he died at the scene shortly afterwards. Miscellaneous actions could be taken to de-escalate the situation. Use of gun was not the immediate choice of action. This is brutal killing of an innocent man.
Where does it make sense? Any normal person will say, no, it's not right. It's completely wrong. My uncle was harmless. He could barely he could barely take 3-4 steps. After his third or fourth step, he'd have to sit down because he couldn't breathe. You're telling me a 62-year-old man, father of 4, is gonna get up, who can barely breathe to begin with, and run and attack you in his own home where he locked and he felt safe in? How does that make sense? You're saying, oh, there was a scene between the officers and Aejas, my mom. It makes no sense.
The officers entered his residence without the presence of a negotiator.
I should have taken him to the gas station.
The police has gone far beyond what they are trained and best equipped to do.
What happened yesterday and what the police did.
They are not entitled to address mental health emergencies. His family pleaded to intervene, but they were not allowed to do so. Rodney Levi, 48, and Chantal Moore, 26, both were Indigenous people. They were shot by police in New Brunswick in separate incidents this month. Regis Korchinski-Paquet, a 29-year-old black woman, fell from a 24th floor balcony in Toronto while in the company of police, who had been called to help her with a mental health crisis at the end of May. These series of incidents have contributed to call in Toronto and across North America to deafen the police department or to cut their budgets so that the money could be used by social workers and experts for defusing mental health crises. There must be a full, transparent, and independent investigation. We demand justice for Aejas Chowdhury.